I haven't watched that since the beginning of season 3.
Oh, it's pretty rough right now.
All right, so all the creatures, the mist is forming, they come down, and it turns out the glowworm's just a bunch of dudes on horses with fire.
With fire.
And they have an awesome attack on this fort. I mean, it's all like, but you know what though? The main thing about watching this again, some of these Vikings that are supposed to be the 13 warriors didn't do too well in this.
No, I think you would have been okay having the 3 warriors. You know what I mean? Guy who sees, guy who fights duels, and Big King. Like just those 3 guys, I think would have been a little more mobile. Maybe didn't need such a big boat. Yeah, that's really the warriors you need.
Just a canoe.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's there's the archer Viking guy that just gets wiped out. He's a very slow archer. And then there's another guy that tries to get a random fire thing out and gets speared 40 times. That big dude did take about 8 different spears. That was cool.
He was a damaged sponge, absolutely.
Yeah, but he was doing good. He was doing the best he could. So I would have taken him too. I'd have done the Warriors 4.
Yeah, but they can't all be heroes.
Yeah, but I was just a little surprised by that. And also, you know what's interesting? That guy during the documentary, Vlad, said he wishes on the boat they just would have given each person 20 seconds. Oh, hey, I'm a carpenter. Or, hey, I'm a shipbuilder. Or, I'm the rakish one.
You know what movie did that well? Was the Clive Owen King Arthur movie.
Oh, yeah, you know all those characters. I like Ray Winstone, Ray Stevenson, Ian Grufford, Joel Edgerton, Mads Mikkelsen, Hugh Dancy. They're both from Hannibal. Clive Owen.
There you go.
I'm naming most of these dudes.
Yeah, but they established here's here's Lancelot and here's what are the other knights there? But they gave every one of them
Hank
a
and
moment.
Steve and Joe.
Galahad.
Yeah, Galahad. Yep, and Versilitude.
Versilitude.
No, but so I mean, a lot of them were underwritten, but I never thought about that until actually watching it today. And maybe I thought about it because I watched that interview with Vlad, where he wishes they would have had more. And I think that was a problem with The Hobbit as well. Some of the dwarves don't really register as much. 13 Assassins, though, and 7 Samurai, and Magnificent Seven, the original, the remake of Seven, they do a great job establishing characters, for sure.
Yeah.
Like
my favorite thing about the Magnificent Seven is that if you watch it, every time Yul Brynner and Steve McQueen are in a scene together, and Yul Brynner has a line, Steve McQueen does something. He'll take off his hat, he'll kick the dirt, he'll twirl his gun, and it was to get the attention off of Yul Brynner.
I was going to say that same thing. It's amazing. And Yul Brynner got so pissed because he was
they made
always
him kill him.
Yeah, they always did something in the back. He was always flipping a gun or hey, wait. Have you watched 13 Assassins?
Yeah.
Oh, do you love that movie?
So much.
Shinzemon.
Oh.
I know all those dudes in that movie. Oh, what a great villain too. All right, well,
it was great.
So the battle happens. Why do they leave? Why do the Wendells leave? Because they got them on they got the humans dead.
Here's what I think. It's one thing for them to kill the room and leave the mystery or just but for those Vikings to go back and wake up the next day defeated and have to tell that story, I think it's psychological warfare.
You think that these Neanderthal descendants are using psychological warfare?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. I think they know that, the story is more important. The story of them is more damaging than actually them. Like
fear. Just having someone share that story.
Yep.
My mind is blown.
That's what I firmly believe that.
Oh man. How about this? Let's take a break. I need to recollect because that's a great point. And when we come back, we'll talk more 13th Warrior.
Beautiful.
Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I love this movie. We took a break and I just started talking about how much I love this movie. So we took a break to talk about this movie.
Here's what I want to say. On a scale, let's do this. Jurassic Park, Congo, 13th Warrior. What's your favorite Michael Crichton movie?
Oh, I mean Jurassic Park. But the thing is, it had the luxury of being directed by Spielberg.
Right. Imagine a Spielberg 13th Warrior.
Oh, man. Oh. Well, oh, goodness. That would be so amazing. Just, but I like McTiernan's, though.
No, and the thing is, I hope they never remake this movie.
No, I hope not either.
because it's one of those things that's just perfect the way it is.
And I guess, you know what I kind of like about it? It does have these kind of weird ticks to it, but I like that when sometimes there's... The worst movies to me are the bland ones. So, sorry to do this to you because I know you love Green Lantern. But Green Lantern...
I love the character, not that movie.
That movie, I sat through that movie, right? And I know this isn't really possible, but I didn't laugh, I didn't smile, I didn't smirk, I didn't sneer, I didn't dislike it, I didn't like it. I just sat through it with zero emotions. Does that make sense?
You want to know why? No, it does, because nobody, from the director to the actors to anybody in that movie, ever took a risk.
Yeah, it's just the most bland. And Martin Campbell did it. This dude's rebooted Bond twice. He did GoldenEye and he did Casino Royale and he did Zorro. Oh, random fact. The director of Zorro, he was working with Antonio Banderas again, Martin Campbell. They were doing the second Zorro movie. And Martin Campbell walked up to Antonio Banderas. He was like, dude, 13th Warrior, it's a thing online now. And Banderas is like, what? He's like, trust me. He's like, people are going to love this film in the future. And then Banderas is like, yeah, man, this has become a beloved film online. So I thought
because it is so good.
Martin Campbell called it.
Yep.
But he did do Green Lantern. But this movie has its quirks, and I love that about it. I like the personality to it.
Yeah, but again, these people that made this movie, from every actor to the director, they made a choice and they committed to it. Mm-hmm. And that's what good storytelling and good acting is just making a choice and committing.
They went to the middle of nowhere, British Columbia, and just built forts and acted like Vikings for 6 months. It's amazing.
Right? Well, it's like if you look at Billy Bob Thornton in Sling Blade, right? That's not a safe choice to make.
He made a decision.
He made a decision and he stuck to it, and it's, I think, his best role. You
know what's interesting? I just watched Steven Soderbergh's Unsane recently, and he chose to shoot that on an iPhone. And that's a bold choice. I can do this choice. And in the beginning, it's a little jarring. It kind of looks muddy. It looks like
an iPhone.
Yeah, but you get into it. And then once you're absorbed into it, you don't even notice it anymore because that's the world. So I love when they make bold choices and just do it, like 148%. I know that's not
absolutely,
but yeah. So, do you want to get into the cave sequence in this movie?
Yes. So this is the scene that bothers me the most, and it's because I'm claustrophobic, and this is done so well.
Oh, so do you not like The Descent?
I don't like The Descent.
That's my favorite horror movie of the 21st century. But yeah, so I actually wrote that down. What did I write? The cave system looks really real. I'm like, they really built a heck of a set in this place.
And genuinely looked like it would be difficult to film in there.
They did a lot of handheld work. Like they just got right in the action. But I have a question though. So they get to the bottom, they kind of wipe out these guys. They have very lax security, but I don't think they think anyone's going to attack them, so they would have lax security.
Right.
I would suppose. But at the end, so when they get down to the bottom, they find the queen, and Bullwife squares off against the queen. There's a scene where she dunks her big, sharp fingernail into some poison, but she has a massive bowl of it. Why does she just have a thing of poison that can murder people right in front of her? And who brings this to her?
So we never really got to explore too much about who the mother was, but we do know that there's two different interpretations of the mother between Crichton and McTiernan, right?
Yeah.
And so in this world where myth exists and doesn't exist, so like it wasn't a glowworm, but the bone lady at the beginning predictions were right. You come down to say, was that witch lady, was the mother actually a human, or was she something different, or what was going on there? So I think that whether she was actually something more than a human or not, I think she believed she thought she was more.
Oh, for sure.
And so for a person in that mental state, having a bowl of poison is not an awkward thing at all.
I hate it. That's like saying it's a Knight's Tale, not a Knight's Story. You just explain it. I was gonna have some fun with it. I'm like, what is she doing with all this poison?
Sorry, I got real on you there.
Yeah, I mean, you sold it right there. I could see it. She's just kind of does she make it? Where does she get this point? Snakes?
I want to say she excretes it.
From the snakes?
From somewhere.
From something? But I
think it's a cocktail of spider snake and poison pufferfish.
Oh my god! So her people are going out and getting well. I guess they did live by the Thunder Cliffs.
They did.
But I do like that. I remember when I was sitting in the theater, 17 years old, and when I saw Bullwife get slashed by her, and then he decapitates her, I was like, no, he's dead. I was so depressed about that. I was not happy that Bolwife was going to eat it.
Right.
And then I do like how what's up?
I was thinking the Hollywood story would be that because of his learned upbringing, that Ebed was going to save him.
Yeah.
But no, he just dies.
Everyone's like, yeah, he's just dying. Yeah, it's going to happen. But it does lead to one of my favorite moments. And a lot of people hate the final battle scene because it's too abrupt. So I was reading on Reddit and a bunch of comment boards that I could find, and people were complaining that it's too abrupt. But I thought it was just about right. I think the audience would have been too exhausted for another big brawl. And I like that they just focused on Bolwife, this dying dude, taking a massive sword and killing the leader of the Wendels.
No, and I think it needed to be abrupt because I feel that that's how Bolwife would have handled it. There would be no toying. I have one job: to kill you as quickly as I can.
Yeah.
And I think those Vikings genuinely love battle, and we saw that with the duel with the shields earlier, where he decapitated that guy and toyed with him. But I think when you know your time is limited and your strength is wavering, you want to make every motion count. And I think that's why it was such an abrupt change in fighting style. And
I do like that the Wendell leader did charge headlong into battle. He was no punk.
Yeah. No, he was in. He was as committed. He believed in his task.
Yeah, he was not in the back line. So it was two really great. I mean, if you think about him and the Queen, they were pretty good leaders to keep all these people fed and organized and trained and in shape and not murdering each other. Like they were good. I mean, he probably killed a lot of people, but you know.
And that also goes back to my favorite scene in John Carter. Remember when he kills those two white apes and he challenges the king of the Tharks to be the king, and then they jump at each other, and then when they land, the king of the Tharks just has no head. Like, it was just so quick. Like, I was like, we don't want to waste time here. And I think both sides thought that, we need to get this done.
Yeah, so they just and then a really cool day battle scene, and also it leads to the speech they make. Something, a cool Viking speech, and then the battle happens, and then Bolwife wins. I thought I don't know. I loved it. And then Bolwife sitting in his chair. I use that picture all the time for various posts. Just him, just a great leader. And
that picture of him sitting in the chair, he looks just like Vigo from Ghostbusters 2.
I thought he was the same guy from Die Hard 2. The blonde from Die Hard. I'm sorry, the blonde from Die Hard.
Yeah. The guy with the he was hanging on the chain. He chokes him with the chain.
Yeah.
At the end.
I thought that was him.
Maybe.
For years. But he said I had an interview with McTiernan, and McTiernan never interviews people. So it seemed like he had never met him. Yeah. So I was pretty shocked when I heard that, because for years I've been saying that. IMDb has been here the whole time. I just don't check it. But yeah, so then Banderas takes off, leaves, tells a great story. The movie's over. I love it.
And it's like when your child does something really good, but there's a few little mistakes, you look over them because you love it so much.
That's right.
And so the quirks in this movie, I don't even register them as quirks. I just say that's part of the pack. It's part of the deal.
And I do think I probably defend it more than necessary because of just the dislike that people give it.
But I think the dislike also comes from the time when it came. So it was 1999. So The Matrix had just come out.
Oh yeah. Phantom Menace was around. The Mummy. This was like a throwback, R-rated.
This was the time of the very beginning of the CG-dominated action film. And this was a jarringly, sometimes disturbing movie to watch because it was so in your face and real. It wasn't shiny. And this is the era of the shiny action movie.
And there's a bunch of good creature features in 99. So Deep Blue Sea. Well, I love Deep Blue Sea. Some people say it's not good, but I do.
No, Deep Blue Sea is I have on my computer at all times 4 movies just in case.
Really?
They are Deep Blue Sea, The Beastmaster, Coal Miner's Daughter.
Oh, wow.
And The Room. Yeah.
The Room?
The Room. Because every now and then you run into somebody who doesn't know what The Room is, and you just throw The Room on and you're good to go for hours.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
You know what? I don't know why, but I have this movie in every conceivable way you can own it. I remember I was in Korea, and it's out there you can just download whatever you want, but I bought it on iTunes. I don't even know. I didn't even watch movies on iTunes, but I was like, I'm going to buy 13th Warrior on iTunes. And I think I bought it again on Vudu. I have the I have every disc that you could possibly